Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my MotoGP 19 career mode here today. And today we have a big episode on our hands because we have two races here today for the Austrian Grand Prix and the British Grand Prix, my home race. And also we have a transfer window. And this is the crucial point in the season, guys. You guys voted 2 episodes ago in terms of whether I should stay in Moto 3 or move up to Moto 2. And we are going to address that here today. But first of all, though, if you guys missed the last episode, then check it out by clicking on the card in the top right hand corner of your screen before we get into any further spoilers as we get into this weekend's action here at Austria for the Red Bull Ring. Now, the pressure's on. We are looking very good in the championship. We've really had a good run of races lately, and we're extending our lead in the top of the championship. I want to try and keep that going and try and push as much as I can in this championship. And the best way to do that is to win again here at Austria, and then most importantly, Britain, my home race. I want to try and win that race. But first of all eyes on Austria at the Red Bull Ring, and let's try and take it one race at a time. First of all, we're going to go through practice here, and we're going to hit the practice programs. So we have quite a few development points actually saved up. I believe we have 65 at the moment, so we'll soon be getting some more upgrades on the bike. You can see there they cost 60 each, so hopefully coming into the episode we can add some more upgrades and more performance to the bike. But yeah guys, let's jump into things here for practice at Austria, and let's get up to speed and let's see if we can have another solid weekend. Right, so the first practice program is done for the track affinity. Pretty straightforward, maximum score. Already though, we are pretty low on the pace. We're going to have to work on our pace a bit. We're about a second and a half off at the minute. We are struggling a little bit, so hopefully we can resolve that with the quick lap simulation, which we'll get into now. So let's have a look real quick at the lap times. As you can see, we are currently P6, 1.4 off of Sergio Garcia's pace. It was Masia who was P1, and I would have been only half a second off, to be fair. So it's not as bad as I thought, actually. I thought it was more off because I was 1.5 off through Sector 2, but I managed to recover a second in the final 2 sectors, so that's not too bad. But Garcia, they're laying down the new benchmark with a 40.2, so we've got work to do here, and we're going to do that by doing the quick lap simulation, so let's jump into it. Okay, so looking better now after 3 sectors. 2/10 off Garcia's time with a corner car there, but that's okay, we'll get away with that. Into the final corner. Power down nice and early, we're going to get a nice little toe as well on the exit. I reckon this lap should be good enough. It felt pretty good up to the line, and there we go, 40.3. That's only 1/10 off Garcia's time, so that will do. Very solid program there on the practice program, and we managed to survive the little scare, so that lap also should be good enough for Q2. Let's confirm it real quick, and there we go, literally half a tenth off of Garcia's time. Amos has actually gone P3 in the meantime. He's improved as well, so yeah, we're in amongst it, which is good. So all in all, a successful session, but now let's move into qualifying. Okay then, so the FP1 times are pretty much definitive as we jump into Q2 in second place. So all in all, a very strong session, and our usual title rivals are in the mix as well. So no big surprises in Q1. So let's jump into things here and let's try and secure another pole position. Right then, 9 minutes to go. No lap time set yet. So again, we're going to try and lay down the benchmark. Assist, turn it off. Soft tyres at the ready. Let's try and get this pole position. Although we're not going to get anything with a turn 1 like that. So that's that lap in the bin, pretty much. Wow, this is a terrible lap. Damn. Okay then, so fresh tyres on. I can really notice when I turn the engine braking off what a difference it makes, so we're going to have to readapt our riding style. And see if we can try and improve our lap time without it, but here we go, turn 1, better already. Let's push on here and try and set a decent lap time. Uh-oh, slow it down, damn it. I struggle with that corner so much. This is my worst sector, sector 2. Just can't seem to hook it up by the minute without the engine braking. Can't believe I actually need an assist. I haven't needed an assist for years. That was a very sideways entry there, but it worked out okay. Garcia's gone quickest. We're only a 10th off, and this final sector is my strongest sector. I think we should go P1. We'll find out shortly up to the line, and there we just about snatch first place. I'm going to go for one more lap on these tyres because I don't have that many more softs left. I've only got 1 set of soft tyres left, so I want to try and save them if I can and just use these. So I reckon I can improve, so let's try. Let's just not run too deep here if I can avoid it. Okay, there we go, that's much better. It's a little bit wide, but much tidier overall. We're going to get the power down a lot earlier. That should be a much better second sector. It should be much better. There we go, 8 tenths up, that's more like it. It's a bit wide through there as Garcia clocks up a 39.7. That's a strong lap, that. Very strong lap. Can we beat it? We'll have to find out. We're a 10th down. Need a strong final corner now. Using second gear to get the drive off the corner. Come on. Is that going to be enough? Up to the line. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, we don't get it. We just miss out by a fraction. That came out of nowhere, 39.7. The fastest that I did was a 40.2, so we've got to see it's around half a second out of nowhere, but that's me done. I want to save a set of softs for the race tomorrow because I want to use the soft front, so yeah, I think we're going to call it there for the session. So here's the situation then, and Amos is 6 tenths adrift, so it's literally me versus Garcia for first place, and then there's a massive gap to everybody else. So it's a two-way fight. It's a shame the gap's so big because Moto 3 is notoriously known, you know, for being so close, not so big in terms of gaps. So it's the complete opposite. Either way though, the gap between myself and Garcia is very close. Now in terms of tyres, like I said before, I've only got one fresh set of soft step here for the front, so I want to save those for the race tomorrow. And yeah, you get 2 on the rears. Actually, no, you only get 1 as well. So there you go. I want to save that just in case. I'm probably going to run a soft medium in the race. So yeah, qualifying is done. So let's move into the confirmed final results. And there we go then, no more further improvements from anybody else, so the gaps stay as they were a minute ago, and it was a two-way battle to be honest, and me and Garcia were a class of our own here today. But that is your grid for the race tomorrow for the Austrian Grand Prix. Let's jump into the race. Here we are then on the grid for the Austrian Grand Prix, and first order of business is to sort out the tyres. Like I said before, soft front, medium rear is going to be what the doctor ordered here today, so we're going to get those tyres on, and we're going to try and win this race if we can. Not a pole position, which is quite surprising. You know, normally I tend to get a lot of poles, but not today. And we start from second place behind Garcia. So let's get to work, let's get into racing, and let's try and win yet another Grand Prix and try and extend our championship lead. Here we go then. First gear selected. We get ready for the 5 lights here at Austria, and we are underway. It's a pretty good start actually. We're going to get a very strong second phase. Garcia tries to cover the inside, but no way through. And we're going to make the move down the inside of turn 1, taking a very shallow line. We're going to run wide there. That's going to give Garcia the position back there. Unfortunately, I was way too narrow, but we are going to get the toe and the upgraded bike. You know what we're like for straight line speed. We are so fast. We're going to get the run here. We're going to pull to the outside, which will become the inside for the next corner. Can we get it slowed down into the hairpin? That's the question. First gear use up outside here with Garcia. On the power, we get a good exit in first gear. Fantastic drive off the corner. Garcia is still right there as we race down towards turn 4, but we are starting to pull away a little bit down the straight as we take first place from him. This is my trickiest corner on the entire circuit. I've been struggling with this corner all weekend. Can I get it slowed down? Yes, I do, but Garcia gives me a hit from the rear, and that's going to give him the position back, unfortunately, as we have to yield. I'm going to try and get close, though. Maybe get back underneath, potentially, as we go in towards the end of Sector 2 and into the start of Sector 3. A little bit wide there through the double Fs. Let's try and bring it back in if we can for the next one. Again, a little bit wide there, just cutting to get the line right at the minute, as Garcia starts to open up a gap already. Let's try and stay close and not let him get away. Only a 3-lap race, of course, so the pressure needs to stay on him. We gain a lot on the straights, though. We are so quick. The straight on power on this bike is incredible. Penultimate corner, very tidy through there, a little bit wide, but that will do. Into the final corner. I'm going to use second gear, actually first, sorry, to get the drive. Right then, lap 1, done and dusted. Let's try and get past Garcia on lap 2 if we can. Turn 1's going to be critical. One of my better corners on the racetrack, turn 1, all weekend long. There we go. Good turn 1, good exit. We should get the run on Garcia here comfortably, up towards turn 3. We're actually going to get him in turn 2 actually. We're going to go down the inside this time. There we go. Now we've got to get it slowed down. Into T3. Garcia back down the inside again as I run a little bit wide. A little bit more contact there on the exit. But we're just going to push him off a little bit and squeeze him out and take the position. And Garcia has to back out. Now we've got to just try and survive this corner here. Turn 4. I've been struggling so much. Get it low, get it low, get it low. There we go. That should do the job now. We survived turn 4. So there we go. Job done. Turn 5 now. I think we'll be okay. Let's keep pushing though. Oh my god, who's that? That's Amos out of nowhere. Okay, Bruce Amos have just turned up in this race out of nowhere. I don't even know what the hell happened there. We're going to get the tow on the pit straight. Where's Garcia? He's down in P.E.s. We're having a bit of a battle here as Amos sets the fast lap for 39.8. That's faster than he's managed all weekend. So Amos turning up here in the race, it seems, on the CRP Green Power Machine. As I think he knows their constructor's position is under threat because we are putting the pressure on big time here. Either way, we're in the tow. Can we get a run in towards turn 3? We're a little bit far back here, but we are gaining through turn 2, up towards turn 3. I'm going to get close, but not close enough. Stay within range, try and get a good exit if we can. Surprisingly, my fronts are going off more than my rears for the first time, probably ever, I think. The rears normally go first on this career mode, on this bike, but here we go nonetheless. We've got the run on Amos. Our bike's definitely improved in terms of straight line speed. It's a little bit harder to get back past. I'm hot here. Amos is going to go down the inside. I've got to try and keep you out of the gravel if I can. We just about managed to keep you out of the gravel. And it's the last lap as well, so we need to find something here as Amos has really thrown a spanner in the works. This isn't my strongest section though. The last 2 corners are my strongest, the final sector and turn 1. Let's stay close to this left. Power down nice and early. Wow, Amos is really going for this. I tell you, he's got a great pace. Putting away so much here. We've got a quiet gap to make up here in 2 corners. I don't think it's going to happen unless we absolutely nail both of these corners. We have a huge wobble into turn 8, or turn 9, sorry. Now down towards turn 10. Oh, no, it's not going to happen. We're too wide, but there we go. Wow, out of nowhere, Amos has stolen the win. I did not expect that at all. Amos wins in Austria. We come home P2, Garcia P3. But what a performance there from Booth Amos. And to be fair, I never really got going in that race. My pace wasn't that good. You know, I struggled to get into the 39s in qualifying. You know, that lap was really, really good. So, yeah, all in all, I guess you could say deserved winner, to be honest. He turned up and did the job. So fair play to Amos there. And he's going to bring on the 25 points for his team, CRP Green Power. And Garcia third on the podium. So it's the top 3 in the championship. Top 3 here today in Austria. In terms of what the race means, though, for the Riders' Championship, Amos back up to second place. The gap is still 63 points between myself and him. And Garcia is 3 points behind Amos and 66 behind myself. And in terms of the team championship, we are now 15 points behind CRP Green Power. We was 4 points behind going into this race, so we've lost a little bit of ground there. But unfortunately, I need my teammates, Fernandez and Arenas, to do a little bit more work for me to really help me out. With that being said, that is it for Austria, and we now move to my home race in Britain for Silverstone. Let's go. Here we are then at Silverstone, guys, and it's beautiful sunny conditions, typical British weather, and who am I kidding, it's absolutely raining here. The track is wet, and I think the rain's actually stopped recently, but there could be more coming our way soon. In terms of the session though, we're going to just do practice, and no practice programs in this one because I just want to try and get a couple of wet laps under my belt, similar to the Saxon Ring, and we're going to keep an eye on the forecast over the weekend. But first of all, let's hit the track, let's get used to the conditions, and see if we can try and do a lap good enough for Q2. Ooh, that's a big wobble there. Very, very scary moment there. So far, I'm enjoying this. The track feels great. Bike feels good around here, even in the wet conditions. It feels like there's a lot of grip. So I'm looking forward to hopefully getting some dry running in if possible. Okay, a 225.5 as the opener. I've just switched off my assists, so let's see if we can try and go quicker without the assists. Okay, so a pretty strong lap. Let's see if we do improve without assists as we go through the final corner. This time, hopefully flat out, with no dramas. Up to the line, And there we go, we improved by half a second pretty much. So I reckon that lap will be good enough for this session. Now we're going to see how the weekend progresses in terms of the weather and see if we get a dry session before qualifying to improve our lap. Okay, so at the end of FP1 there are the lap times. We are half a second up on Messia and 6/10 up on Canet, Garcia down in P5 and Amos down in P7. So at the minute we're looking comfortable. If it remains wet we should be good for Q2. If it goes to dry we're going to have to go again. So let's see how the weekend progresses. Okay, so here we are then for Q2 and the conditions are pretty damn poor. As you can see here, lots of rain falling down at Silverstone, and the rest of the weekend before up until this point has all been wet. We had a very wet FP3, wet FP2, just like FP1, so it's looking like a completely rain-soaked weekend unless Sunday can spring up a surprise and some dry weather. With that being said though, let's jump into Q2 and let's see, first of all, well, if we are in Q2 first, and then we'll take care of business. So let's have a look, and there we go, we are in Q2, so P1, and all the usual suspects are in Q2 with us. So let's get to work and let's try and get another pole position here in this episode, and let's try and put on a show for the home fans. Here we are then in Q2, 8 minutes to go. No benchmark lap times have been set yet, so we're going to try and do that. Let's try and get that pole position. The conditions are atrocious, but we're going to try our best here and give the home fans who are covered in rain something to cheer for. Been wired there, but I had to brake late to avoid that bike behind me. Canet going down the inside, he tries again into the left. We're going to just stay in front though, luckily. Try and go flat through this left, not quite, we have to lift a little bit. It was flat in practice, but the extra bit of rain making it a little bit harder there. Let's see what lap time we do. It's been a great lap so far, except for those two last corners, they've been a little bit scruffy. Let's try and keep it together here in this final sector. There we go, a little short shift in third just to make sure, open up the line a bit so I can go flat through Woodcut. And there we go, up to the line. Can we match our practice time? Yes we do, we actually go faster, 25.4, and that is a very strong benchmark already I think. To match our practice time pretty much in these conditions is a great job. I think that lap will be good enough for pole already on my first attempt, but I feel really hooked up around here. Let's see if that lap's good enough for pole position though. With 2 minutes to go, it's looking pretty damn good, and I think this pole position has been secured as the nearest rider for Nati is 1.4 drift, and to be fair, Garcia can't seem to get going in this session. He's nowhere near the top 13, so it's looking good. I can't see Amos either, so both of those guys haven't really got any rhythm in this session, so let's see how we get on, but I think that lap should be good enough for pole position. Right, so here we have the final qualifying results, and we do secure the pole position by 1.5 seconds over Romano Fenati, Aaron Canet P3, Della Porta P4, and Binder P5, Messia 6th, and then on the third row we've got Rodrigo, my teammate Arenas up in P8, and then Foggia P9, and then Marcus Ramirez, Antonelli, Toba, Suzuki, Sasaki, Garcia down in P15, and then further down we've got Amos down in P18, the last of the Q2 runners. So those two guys really didn't get going in the session, and we've got a massive opportunity here today, or well, should I say on Sunday more like, to score some big points. So let's see how we get on, but qualifying is done. Now let's move into the race. Here we are then on the grid for the race for the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. No rain in the sky, but the track is wet once again, and it's going to be a big challenge, but I'm up for it, and I want to try and win the race for the home fans and put on a show and really extend my championship lead. First of all, tyres, we're going to get the medium strapped on, of course, as always, front and rear, and we're going to see if we can try and overturn that championship deficit. There's a big opportunity today as well with Darren Binder P5 and Amos down in P18 to really close the gap in the constructors as well, especially with Arenas, my teammate, starting in P8. So let's see how we get on. But enough talking, it's time for the race. It's time for the British Grand Prix. Here we go then. The 5 lights come on here at Silverstone. Lights out and away we go for the British Grand Prix. Not the best start. Della Porta gets off to a flyer on the Leopard bike as he goes down the inside at turn 1. We're going to carry the exit speed though and try and go around the outside to get the power down. And there we go. We squirt on the bike, and the better straight on speed shines through as we jump past and back into first place. Into Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel here for the first time. Let's take it very easy through these and you know, give them plenty of respect, but at the same time I don't want to concede the first position if I can avoid it. But there we go, we survive. Fernandes back into P2, and I can race the minimap. We've got a little bit of a gap as well, so we've managed to get a very strong exit, and there we go, we've got ourselves out of pressure, and you can see there we've actually got a nice gap as we go up towards Stowe. Tyre wear is going to be a key factor in this race. I think tyres are going to suffer big time. On towards that last lap, the rears are going to be pretty worn out as Amos gets into 15th and into the points. But let's try and get to work here on this lap and see if we can try and establish some dominance and try and pull away from those behind us if possible. This is a tricky corner for me. I always struggle through the chicane. The slow corners without the engine braking is something I've struggled with, and that's going to allow Della Porta to get close again here as we go on to the new up pit straight here, the F1 pit straight. We managed to just stay in front, which is good. Alright, let's try and pull away from Della Porta here. Oh, Della Porta down the inside there again. Just like Canet tried in qualifying, and this time he actually gets it done, to be fair. As we go through the left onto the Wellington straight, we have to just yield a little bit there, but we're going to get a tow. Can we get back past Della Porta here? We're getting a nice slipstream, but that bike is holding on when it comes to straight line speed. Had a look, but no way through. We actually get our turn in really late and mess up our line. So Della Porta takes first place, which is very surprising. I didn't expect that at the start of the weekend. Arenas, my teammate, battling with Bruce Amos at the minute. Garcia up to P7 now, so he's making great progress. Recovering really, really strongly here. I want to win this race. I don't want to get another second place. We go flat out for Woodcote, which is going to give me a big advantage here as we get the run on Della Porta onto the pit straight, down the inside, into turn 1, into Cops. A little bit wide there. We're going to pull up a little bit wide and scrub off the line a bit, but we are going to make the move and take first place. A bit of a block pass there on Della Porta, but job done. We're back into P1. Still struggling with those slow corners, I really am. Can never seem to get the line right. Again, I'm deep into here. Luckily, we'll stay in front this time, and Della Porta won't make the move. There we go, nicely done. Nice and tidy through there. Good thing is Della Porta's looking good for P2, so at best Garcia's going to get P3, and Bruce Amos is still strapping for the lower half of the top 10, so it's looking good here. It really is. Although Della Porta just absolutely just sent one there into Brooklands as we now go into Luffield here. I'm going to be on the outside line. He's giving me a good fight, but I'm not going to give up just yet. Here we go, out of Luffield into Woodcote. We're going to go around the outside here. There's contact, but we're going to go around the outside and get the job done as we go into the last lap of the Grand Prix. 23.6. It's a strong pace, it really is. Faster than practice. These are the fastest laps all weekend. So a very strong pace at the minute as Della Porta's still trying to get past it. Going into Maggots, can we stay in front? Yes, we do. That Leopard bike has definitely improved straight line speed though, it's definitely a lot more competitive. But we are able to stay in front into Beckett's. Now we just got to try and get through turn 5, which we do, but it's not the best line as we now go through Chapel onto the hangar straight. That's enough of a gap for me. I think Della Porta just made a mistake into the chicane around wide or something. He's lost a lot of ground in those 2 corners where I'm actually quite slow. So we've got a nice little buffer now. Here we go then. Looks like we're okay. This time Della Porta doesn't absolutely send one down the inside. And we've got a nice gap to him actually as we go into Luffield now. Canet still P8 with Todd P7. I believe Garcia is in amongst that as well. But here we go out of Luffield in towards Woodcote and the pit straight. And the home fans hopefully will enjoy this as we are going to come through to win the British Grand Prix, getting a big 25 points for the championship. Absolutely massive. And what a lap right at the end there, 21.0, really strong pace. That last lap was fantastic, we really hooked it up. Garcia in the end got P6 and Amos got P9. So all in all, not too bad there. We should gain a bit of ground on the constructors. Where did Arenas finish? He finished P13, so he did score some points. So let's look at the Riders' Championship. So we're now 81 points clear of Garcia and Amos. So we're really dominating now and really stretching out a huge gap here in this British Grand Prix. And in terms of the constructors of the Team Championship, we are now back to being 5 points behind CIP Green Power. So we've closed back in. Hopefully we can overtake them sooner rather than later. But that is going to be it, guys, for the race here. And we're now going to move on to the main menu because I believe we have some contract negotiations. Okay, so here we are then, and we don't have any Moto 2 contract offers, surprisingly. So with that being said, we're going to remain in Moto 3, and we are going to stick with our current team of the Angel Nieto team. So let's re-sign our contract, and let's stay with them for the foreseeable future. And in terms of other things, we're going to do some upgrades to the bike, and we've got 60 points. For each upgrade. So I've only got 85 in the bank, so I'm going to go for a frame upgrade because we've got good straight line speed and good engine power, so I'm going to focus more on the frame improvements and hopefully that will improve the bike a little bit. But overall, guys, that is going to be it for this episode of the MotoGP 19 career mode. If you did enjoy it, then drop a like on the video and also get subscribed for daily Formula 1 content and turn on notifications to not miss a video from me. And finally, check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next episode very soon, but until then, it's goodbye from me.